How's it going, guys? Welcome to the stream. We're breaking down basically UFC 214 tonight. Lots of great fights, lots of good implications for tonight. Hello, my first viewer. What's going on, Hammer? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I just figured I'd stream a little bit, break down some UFC 214 tonight. Some great fights, guys. Jon Jones, Daniel Cormier 2. We got Robbie Lawler versus Cowboy Cerrone. Cyborg getting their first shot at the title against Evinger, I believe. And Damian Maia taking on Tyron Woodley in the co-main event for the UFC Welterweight Championship of the World. So definitely exciting. Definitely some great fights with some huge implications on them. But yeah, Hammer, I'll be on after UFC for sure. After when UFC is finished, then I'll definitely be on, and we'll play some Friday or some hockey again or whatever you want. Definitely be pretty cool. It's pretty sweet that through PlayStation Plus they'll let you get a nice discount on UFC 214 as well. You can get it for $53.99 instead of $69.99 through the pay-per-view, which is pretty sweet. It's a good incentive to order it off the PlayStation Store for sure. EA has announced, I think, that they're working on UFC 3, so that's exciting news as well, that UFC 3 is coming out probably around next year. We'll expect to see some more great things from EA and UFC. See what's new, what they bring to the table for the next UFC game. Love to hear some predictions too, guys, about the UFC. Why not just the UFC Fight Pass? Yeah, Fight Pass is good too. But I don't got Fight Pass. I ordered the event on the PlayStation Store. I usually order them all on the pay-per-view. This one's going to be really good, though. It's 2 years in the making. Jon Jones taking on Daniel Cormier for the light heavyweight championship of the world. It's a fight that a lot of guys have been wanting to see for quite a long time, with lots on the line. Jon Jones didn't fare so well in his last fight in the UFC. He's had enough time off, about a year from the suspension. It's going to be an interesting test against Daniel Cormier, who's a great wrestler. If he's able to take Jon down, it could be a long night for Jon Jones. But with Jon Jones's reach, I think he kind of holds the advantage, where Jon Jones can definitely hold him at bay and defend against Daniel's takedowns for sure. The guy has an 84.5-inch reach advantage. Is pretty. It's a lot compared against most people for sure that fight in the UFC. I think he's got the biggest reach. Cormier didn't fare so well the first. He's wanted a rematch ever since that first fight, and now he's got it. So pressure, I think, really is on Daniel Cormier to perform tonight. There's some pressure, obviously, on Jon Jones because he wants to hold the title, but Jones has already beaten him. I'd say the pressure more so is on DC tonight to finish Jon Jones, squash this rivalry, and move on to possibly fight against Alexander Gustafsson, who I believe is next in line for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. So either way, we're going to get a good rematch if it's Gustafsson versus Cormier 2, or if it's Gustafsson versus Jones too, which I believe that's a fight that almost every UFC fan would want to see, considering how well their first fight went in Toronto. The first time Gustafsson fought against John Jones was absolutely amazing. A lot of people thought John didn't really win that fight, and that it could have went to Gustafsson. I'd have to agree on that one. Gustafsson seemed to have landed more shots. Jones came on later on in that fight, but it definitely looked like Gustafsson could have squeaked out a decision. I'd be happy either way to see those fights, but more so to see the rematch with Jones against Gustafsson, considering how great their first fight was. But definitely, guys, let me know which fight you're most looking forward to seeing tonight. Woodley against Maia is another tough one. Southpaw, what's up, buddy? I know Tyron Woodley didn't really want to take on Damian Maia. He doesn't think that that's going to be that great of a fight, but I think it's going to be pretty decent. It's a good test. If Damian Maia takes Tyron Woodley down to the ground, he's a jiu-jitsu expert. He's got a lot of submissions that he can use in his arsenal to take out a guy like Tyron Woodley. But if Tyron Woodley is able to use his power and hurt Maia early on, it could be another easy title defense for Tyron Woodley. Moving on to Robbie Lawler and Donald Cowboy Cerrone, who I had the pleasure of watching when he came to Ottawa for UFC Fight Night. It's going to be a great fight. They both have a great set of weapons. Lawler is extremely strong with his striking and his knockout abilities, so definitely going to be a great fight between those two. I have to give the edge maybe to Cowboy because he's got a lot more kicks and a lot more striking, but definitely Lawler definitely has the power against a guy like Cowboy Cerrone for sure. Nothing right now. Going to hop on GTA 5 doing missions. Right on, Southpaw. That's cool, buddy. GTA was a fun game. I enjoyed that one. Definitely enjoyed that one for sure. It was lots of fun. Can't wait for the next one whenever they make that one. But yeah, guys, definitely going to be a great fight. And then you got Cyborg taking on Evinger for the Featherweight Championship. This is a belt that I believe Cyborg should have been competing for a long time. She definitely has earned it. She's won her last 3 or 4 fights, I believe, inside the octagon. And it's definitely a well-deserved chance for her to earn the title that I believe that she basically should have had a long time ago. So definitely looking forward to seeing her fight. It's always great watching Cyborg compete. She's probably one of the best, I would say, female fighters inside of the UFC. Ronda Rousey was so dominant back in the day, but coming off 2 straight losses, she's not as strong as she used to be for sure. Cyborg is definitely one to be reckoned with. Amanda Nunes as well, even though she had to bail out of the last fight that she was supposed to compete in because of a sinus problem. But yeah, Amanda Nunes and Chris Cyborg are the new, I would say, faces of the female division for UFC. Absolutely. GTA 6 will be amazing when it comes out. Yeah, for sure. Southpaw GTA 6 will be pretty sweet. I'm definitely looking forward to that one for sure. Definitely going to be a good one, absolutely. But yeah, guys, as you can see, obviously my UFC autographs on my board here. Aljamain Sterling, Stevie Ray, Chris Weidman, and Chrissy Blair. So yeah, man, it was super cool to meet those guys when they came to Ottawa. It was really cool to meet him, especially Chris Weidman. I've looked up to him for quite a while. He's a really, really good UFC fighter and probably one of my favorites. The 2 times he beat Anderson Silva was absolutely amazing. I'll never forget the 2 times that he beat him. So that was really cool to meet him as well. But yeah, guys, if you haven't ordered the event already, you guys can order it on pay-per-view. I believe it's $70 down here in Canada. I'm not sure how much it is in the States. But you can order it on pay-per-view. You can also order it off your PlayStation. Through PlayStation Plus, they have a special. You can get UFC 214 for, I believe it's $53.99 for PlayStation Plus users. So that's a good added bonus, guys. If you're big fans of UFC, you want to check out the rematch that's 2 years in the making with Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier. Definitely, you guys can order it off your PlayStations to check it out. I will be watching it on my PlayStation tonight. I know I can't wait for Jones versus Cormier 2 years in the making. It's going to be one of the best fights, I think, of the year. Definitely a contender for Fight of the Year, absolutely. Their last fight was incredible. There's lots of big implications, too, on this. If Jones wins, he said next in line for him, it's looking like Gustafsson. It could be Gustafsson or it could be Brock Lesnar. There's been lots of rumors stating that Brock Lesnar is returning to UFC at some point early this year. So there's rumors he might lose his WWE Championship at SummerSlam and then slowly make the transition back into UFC to compete either November card or December. And they're looking at Jon Jones possibly for an opponent for him. So Jones says he'll see how tonight goes against Cormier. If he's able to win against DC tonight and solidify that he is the GOAT, the greatest of all time in the light heavyweight division, then that'll be the fight that they'll make. And it's going to bring in a lot of money, and it's going to be great for the fans. And it's going to be a fight that I'm sure a lot of people would want to see. I know I personally would want to see Jones versus Lesnar. I think it poses a lot of good threats both ways for Jones, whereas the takedowns of Brock is really strong, but Jon Jones' takedown defense is second to none. It's probably one of the best in the UFC. His striking as well. Jones is a dangerous guy. So is Brock, and I think it would make for an amazing fight. Conor McGregor is supposed to make another comeback to UFC possibly at some point, maybe later on this year. They're going to finish off the Mayweather versus McGregor fight that they have scheduled in the boxing ring, and then they'll go from there. I know they were hinting at maybe the trilogy fight with Nate Diaz for the lightweight championship of the world, but I'm not sure where they're going to go exactly with this one. It's all up to Conor, if Conor wants to stay fighting with UFC or if he's going to retire or what he's really going to do after the Mayweather fight. Well, we might not see Conor again, depending how much money he makes off this Mayweather fight. He could not come back to UFC, or maybe he will. We'll have to see. There's some good options on the table for Conor as well, with Nate Diaz, a possible rematch. Maybe Conor fighting against Khabib Nurmagomedov. There's lots of interesting options for him at the lightweight division, as well as in featherweight and stuff like that. So definitely some interesting things. As well, Tyron Woodley is fighting tonight against Damian Maia. That'll be an interesting fight. Love to hear your predictions on that one. I think Maia is a really tough opponent for him. His takedowns are pretty good. His striking has improved a lot since the last time I seen him compete as well. It was really, really strong striking, which I really thought was really good. And his submissions are second to none. The guy's a jiu-jitsu expert. He's really, really good at the submissions, so it's going to be tough to see what Tyron Woodley can do after this fight. And there's another big implication on this one, too. If Tyron Woodley wins, Dana White said next up is George St. Pierre. When George St. Pierre returns to the octagon later on this year, probably November or December, that's when they're thinking. And he said GSP is next in line to get a shot at the welterweight championship. That's what Dana White wants him to do, but there's also rumors floating around that George St. Pierre could be fighting against Michael Bisping. I know there's lots of stuff regarding that as well. It's slowly started to pick up steam again. Bisping and St. Pierre said that they've agreed to fight in December, so the ball's really in Dana White's court, what he wants to do with this one. I think George St. Pierre versus Michael Bisping would be probably one of the best fights in UFC history if they do it. I think it'll be really good. And either way, really, if the welterweight championship is on the line for George St. Pierre against Tyron Woodley, that'll also be a great fight as well. It's all up to the fans, really, I think. And Dana White just trying to make it happen. I know George said that he He wants to come back. He's better than ever. He's better than he was before, so I'm definitely excited to see him return to the octagon, to see who he fights. I don't care if he fights against Woodley or Maya, or if he comes back and he's fighting against Michael Bisping. Either way, it's just going to be great to see George back inside the octagon, competing again. Possibly bringing home the championship, winning a title. So definitely looking forward to see what's in the future for George St. Pierre. But yeah, guys, there's lots of ways to order tonight's pay-per-view. You can order it on PlayStation Store. PlayStation Plus users, you get it at a discount at $53.99, or you guys can order it on your local cable provider. UFC 214, Jones versus Cormier 2. 2 years in the making. But yeah, guys, tons of great fights tonight. I'd love to hear you guys' predictions if you jump on here. Who do you think's gonna win, Cormier or Jones 2? I'm thinking John Jones is getting his belt back tonight. I really do. I think he's inside Daniel's head. He has that victory over him in the first fight. Looks like he trained a heck of a lot harder this time around. Jones, obviously, he wants to go in there and he wants that belt back. He wants to prove that he's the best fighter to ever compete in the light heavyweight division, and a win over Daniel Cormier, I believe, will solidify John Jones as the GOAT, the greatest of all time for the light heavyweight division. I mean, there's not many people in the light heavyweight division that can do what John Jones has done over the last couple of years. I know he's had his ups and downs. That's like every athlete has their ups and downs, though. He got into some trouble with not making weight and drugs and other stuff, but that all comes with the territory of being the champion. You know, he had a lot of bad people in his camp and showing him the wrong way to do things, but I really do think Jones has learned from that, and he's a much different guy than he was the last couple times, and tonight you guys will see that. You guys will see the best John Jones that's ever competed in the UFC tonight, when he takes on Daniel Cormier in the much anticipated rematch 2 years in the making. And this is a fight that I believe DC needs the most. If he's unable to beat John Jones a second time, it's pretty much over for him. I mean, he's got some good wins against some average opponents, I would say, except for Alexander Gustafsson. I would say that was a test for him. Anderson Silva was more of a joke at UFC 200. That wasn't very good. The guy is 39 years old. He's probably on his way out. He's lost a few fights. That wasn't a good way to have that title fight. They should have just left that one alone, left Cormier rest, and let John Jones sort his stuff out and see where they would have went. But finally it's going to happen tonight. Jones versus Cormier 2, and I'm excited. I'm sure everybody else will be really excited about this fight as well. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I think John Jones is getting that belt back. He's going to win. He's going to beat Daniel Cormier. The rivalry will be over. And it's going to be a rematch with Alexander Gustafsson. He's now obviously next in line. I know there's rumors about Brock Lesnar and John Jones, but that'll probably be further down the line. Seeing how Alexander Gustafsson won his last fight, and Dana White already stated that Gustafsson will get the rematch against either Cormier or John Jones, whoever wins tonight. Personally, I would love to see John... What's going on, buddy? I haven't seen you streaming in a while, man. Hope things are well there, GQ. Hope things are good. We're talking about UFC 214, Jones versus Cormier 2. I'd love to hear your guys' predictions. Who you guys think is going to win tonight, Jones or Cormier? And what do you guys think of the rumors of possibly Brock Lesnar returning to the Octagon to take on John Jones? Brock Lesnar stated anytime, anywhere for John Jones. John Jones is down for it. It all depends on how tonight's fight goes against Daniel Cormier. But I believe this is the best John Jones that we've ever seen, and tonight he's going to show it. This is probably, I would say, the most stacked card that UFC's put together in a long time. Chris Cyborg competing. If you've never seen Cyborg fight inside the Octagon, if you order the event, you're in for a treat. She's probably one of the best female fighters inside the Octagon, I would say. Her, Amanda Nunes are 1 and 2. They're the 2 top female athletes inside the UFC. And I think Cyborg, obviously, she's gonna earn the victory tonight in devastating fashion. She'll probably get a knockout, and she's gonna become the featherweight champion, the women's featherweight champion. So eventually, probably moving on down the line to fight Jermaine Durandamine, which will be a wicked fight that a lot of people will be looking forward to watching as well. So definitely looking forward to seeing what happens with Cyborg. Yeah, guys, love to hear your thoughts on the UFC 214 and your favorite fights coming up for tonight. I haven't streamed in a long time like this, so I figured I'd pop on, do a quick stream breaking down the fights for tonight's card, UFC 214. Live on pay-per-view at 10 o'clock. Or you guys can order it on your PlayStation 4. PlayStation Plus users, you get it for $53.99. Alright guys, I'm going to get some more water. I'll be back. If you want to, feel free to pop on. We can discuss UFC 214. Love to talk about the event with you guys. Love to hear your thoughts regarding UFC tonight. What fights you're most looking forward to. Who your favorite fighters are. What fights you're looking forward to in the future. You guys excited about McGregor versus Mayweather, the boxing fight, coming August 26th? I know that'll be an interesting fight for me. I'm a big McGregor fan, huge McGregor fan. I think he's great. I'm not sure how the boxing is going to go for him, but I'd love to see him back inside the Octagon, that's for sure. Well, it was great to see GQ Smooth pop in. I definitely appreciate you, brother. You've been supporting me since day one when I started doing this streaming stuff, so definitely big thumbs up to you. If you guys want to follow me on YouTube, it's klown3333. I got all new videos coming there too, guys. Definitely stay tuned for that. I broadcast from UFC, Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th. I'm broadcasting Madden 18 when that drops. Single player. I do the season franchise mode, and I'm also going to be doing the story mode, so I'll show you guys how that works. September I'm going to be streaming NHL 18, as well as October I'm going to be streaming Wolfenstein 2, WWE 2K18, all kinds of cool things coming. NBA 2K18 when that drops, I'll be streaming that as well. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed already, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. It means a lot. And you can be first notified to check out all my new videos when they become available through YouTube. So we're going to be streaming for a little bit longer on here for UFC. Wait for some people to pop in and talk about the fights tonight. Then we're going to wrap things up because I'm getting ready to watch the event, and I'll let you guys know how things go. The only thing that sucks about the YouTube one is I can't play music, guys, unfortunately. If I could, I definitely would, but they don't look kindly upon that, and could get banned from playing music, so I definitely not going to play much music on here, but we'll definitely talk about the fights a little bit more. Yeah, for UFC 214. The next big one coming up, guys, after this is UFC 215, which is in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Headlined by Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko for the second time, so definitely it's going to be a great fight. Amanda won the first fight. Obviously, this was a fight that was going to happen a couple events back, but they had to reschedule because of sinus issues for Amanda Nunes, but apparently they might have that all under control. So far it's rescheduled for UFC 215 in Edmonton, as well as Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson's returning at that event as well to defend his championship. So definitely some good things coming from UFC, some great events coming up in the next couple months. My buddy Chris Weidman, who I met when he was in Ottawa, he's coming off a big win over Kelvin Gastelum, and he's definitely he's throwing his name in the mix for the title against Michael Bisping. I think maybe one more win for Chris Weidman could solidify him as the #1 contender. Maybe do a rematch with Weidman versus Romero to determine the #1 contender for Michael Bisping, or have Weidman take on Robert Whittaker, and the winner of that will fight Bisping for the belt. There's lots of good options that UFC can work with there on that one as well. I know Weidman really wants to fight against Michael Bisping. It's really high on his list, and he wants that belt back he lost it, and he wants to get it back. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens there if Chris Weidman does end up coming back, and if he is fighting Bisping, how that fight will end up playing out. As well, guys, on the prelims, you can check out Aljamain Sterling, who is also competing tonight against Henan Brown. Alright guys, we'll stream for a little bit longer. Maybe I'll stream some UFC 2. We'll do a fight card and we'll see how that goes. Play some UFC for a bit before the event itself comes on. But definitely guys, it's going to be a good one. Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier 2 years in the making. Jones is coming off a victory in his last fight against Ovince St. Preux. So definitely it's going to be interesting. He didn't look very good in that fight against Ovince St. Preux. He's had about a year off for a suspension. But the way I've seen Jon Jones fight, he's definitely one of those guys that he keeps getting better. He trained really hard, obviously, for this fight. Looks like he's in great shape. He's ready to take his belt back from Daniel Cormier, who's held onto it for a few months now. So definitely it's going to be exciting to see Jon back in the octagon. I wish him all the best tonight in his fight against Daniel Cormier. Just know that Jon Jones, you do have true fans out here that's rooting for you, that support you 100% through whatever you do. So I just want to see a good fight, guys. I want to see some good action. I think this will be probably a fight of the year. One of the fight of the year candidates for sure, depending on the rest of the UFC fights turn out. But yeah, for sure. Welcome back, Jon. Thank you so much for coming back and competing. Hope you get your belt back tonight against Daniel Cormier. Definitely looking forward to that fight, to seeing how you do against him. I know you beat him the first time. I believe Jon Jones is inside his head too. That loss has really taken a lot out of Daniel Cormier, and Jon Jones just knows how to play it up. That's why he's opening up as a huge favorite over DC. But don't get me wrong, DC is a great fighter. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's got great takedowns, great ground and pound. He can strike. He can strike pretty well. So he definitely, there's some openings that Daniel Cormier could take advantage of tonight in the fight against Jon Jones. But overall, I think Jon's just going to be too much for him in this fight. But let me know what you guys think. Love to hear what you guys' favorite fight or top fights are that you're looking forward to most tonight. Is it Cormier and Jones 2, Cowboy and Robbie Lawler, Cyborg against Evinger, or is it Woodley against Maia, which is going to be another phenomenal fight? Definitely looking forward to that. That one could potentially have the fight of the year candidate as well. Both those guys know how to bring it, and both those guys are phenomenal athletes. Definitely looking forward to that one. It's going to be a great fight. But if it does end up going to the ground, I would have to give the advantage to Damian Maya, just because that guy can pull a submission out of anywhere, and it's going to be tough for Tyron Woodley to defend against. So Woodley's going to have to try to avoid getting taken down by Damian Maya, use his striking, and try to finish him off early. And Donald Cowboy Cerrone and Robbie Lawler. How about that fight, guys? That's a fight that I think could definitely easily steal the show as well. There's 3 top fights there that could easily be fight of the year candidates right here on this card for UFC 214. Never seen Cowboy fight Robbie Lawler before, but it's definitely going to be interesting. Robbie's got a lot of power. He's a phenomenal striker. He obviously wants to get back to that championship level to get his belt back, and it all goes through Donald Cowboy Cerrone tonight. See how that goes. If Cowboy can win, maybe a couple more fights down the line. If Cowboy wins a few more, who knows? He might be able to get back into that championship picture. That's exactly where Robbie Lawler is trying to get into as well. He's trying to get into that championship picture, get a few wins together, and eventually compete against either Woodley or Maya for that welterweight championship. I wish I could play music, guys, but I know I can't because of YouTube, so sorry that I can't play any music. And it's just probably not the most exciting thing for most people, but if you're fans of UFC, I'm a huge fan too, guys. I want to really just sit down and talk the UFC with you, go over these fights, go over this amazing card that the UFC has put together for us, and just talk about the fight game. EA Sports is going to be working on UFC 3. It's supposed to drop, I believe, next year, so definitely stay tuned for more information on EA UFC 3, which is the 3rd installment in their video game franchise. I enjoyed the UFC games. I thought UFC 1 was really good. I thought UFC 2 was even better, so I'm definitely looking forward to UFC 3 to see what they do with these graphics, the gameplay, the different game modes, what they're going to throw in. Are we going to get more Ultimate Team, more live competitions, more, who knows what they're going to bring to the table for the next game. We'll be wrapping up shortly, guys. The event starts at 10 o'clock. If you haven't already ordered it, definitely feel free to order it on your cable provider on pay-per-view, or you can order it through your PlayStation, guys. PlayStation Plus members get it at a discounted price. So definitely jump on that, and you can watch it directly on your PlayStation at 10 o'clock when it becomes available. So definitely check it out. It's an event that I know most people don't want to miss. I certainly don't want to miss it. It was an event that I had my calendar marked on for a while. I was definitely looking forward to it. As soon as John Jones was 100% confirmed that he was fighting on this event, I got pretty excited. I definitely did. I mean, the last time that these two were supposed to fight, I was really excited to get it, and unfortunately John Jones messed up and they had to scrap the fight, but now it's on 100%. Cormier versus Jones 2. Catch it live, guys, in pay-per-view and on your PlayStation. It's going to be an amazing fight. Definitely, it's got Fight of the Year candidate all over it. What's going on, viewer? Welcome to the stream. We are discussing UFC 214. Love to hear your thoughts on the event. Yeah. You can stream it, guys. You can watch on your PlayStations and on your TV. So definitely check it out. It's gonna be good. But yeah, guys, like I was saying earlier too, definitely if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll be notified whenever I come on to do streams and to stream video games and stuff like that. So you'll definitely be first to be able to watch all those things. So definitely feel free to subscribe to my channel. What you'll be seeing in the next couple months, you'll be seeing the Call of Duty World War II beta. You will be seeing Michael Myers DLC from Dead by Daylight. You will also be seeing Madden NFL 18, NHL 18, NBA 2K18, WWE 2K18, Wolfenstein 2. All kinds of new games coming, guys. So definitely, in November you will be seeing Star Wars Battlefront 2, as well as Call of Duty when that becomes available. So if you're a big gamer, guys, and you want to check out different streams, you want to check out all those gameplays, definitely subscribe to my channel. You'll be able to be notified first when I come on to do those streams and stream those video games for you. If it's popular enough, if you guys enjoy this, I'll definitely keep doing it. I'll put more and more videos out for you guys to check out every day. It gives you guys a chance to check out the game. If you haven't already purchased the title that I'll be playing that day. And it just gives you a wider range of somebody's view on the game that's played it, and if you want to purchase it, I can let you know if it's good or bad. So that's what's new, what's coming to my channel. I'll probably wrap this thing up pretty soon, guys, but we are talking about UFC 214, Jones versus Cormier 2, live on pay-per-view tonight. What's going on? on, guys. Thank you for popping by the stream. Appreciate it. Feel free to comment about tonight's UFC event if you're watching it, and what fights you're most looking forward to seeing tonight. These behind me are all autographs. That's Aljamain Sterling's autograph, Stevie Ray, Chris Weidman's autographed, and Chrissy Blair's autograph. I met them all when they did UFC Fight Night in Ottawa. Yeah, so they're all real. They're all real, and they're all signed by the actual fighters, which is pretty sweet. Chris Weidman was a really nice guy. They were gonna cut the line, but he kept signing, and he signed to like 6:30, which was really sweet. I was able to meet him. He's a super guy. He's really nice. Yeah. I also got my picture taken with Chrissy Blair and Aljamain Sterling and Stevie Ray. Aljamain Sterling's competing tonight on the prelim card for UFC 214 tonight. Aljamain Sterling is taking on Henan Brown in what should be a really good fight. But the main card itself has got tons of great fights. Jones versus Cormier 2, Cerrone versus Lawler, Cyborg versus Evinger, Woodley versus Maya, and Jimmy Manuwa, I believe, is also on the card for tonight fighting. So it's definitely, there's lots of great fights, lots of good people competing tonight. So if you're a big fan of UFC, definitely check it out. Yeah. I'll probably wrap this one up, I think, guys. We're not getting too much people on here. Nobody's talking about UFC or nobody's commenting, so we might just end it here. If you want to check out the video, guys, the full video, when I was talking about the UFC stuff at the beginning, definitely watch it, guys. It's on my YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe to it. All kinds of new content coming, guys, so definitely stay tuned for that, as well as UFC shows. If this one takes off and it does really well, we'll do more pre-shows to hype up the event and to talk about the fights on that card. If it doesn't do so well, then maybe we'll just stick to video games, but we'll see how this takes off. If it does do well enough that it's popular, we'll continue to do it. I know there's a lot of people around the world that are huge fans of UFC like me. A lot of people that love the sport, that that go to a lot of events. I mean, I went to my first event in Ottawa. I thought it was amazing. I can't wait to see if they come back again. It's definitely an event that I would go back to again and again. It's something I enjoy, something I like. I love the fights, I love the action. The blood in some of the fights is amazing. It's just really, really entertaining. And if they ever come back to Ottawa again, I would definitely go 100%. The card in Edmonton looks sick. Amanda Nunes returning to take on Valentina Shevchenko. Definitely going to be a great fight between those two ladies. It was supposed to happen earlier on, but they had to scrap it because Amanda Nunes had to cancel out due to a sinus issue, I believe it was, that she's getting surgery on or she's getting fixed. So she should be good to go for fight time when that comes in September. But yeah, tonight we're not worried about that one. Tonight we're worried about, we got John Jones, Daniel Cormier 2. 2 years in the making. Bad blood between the two of them. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited to see John back in the octagon. He's definitely, I would say, one of my top 2 fighters in the UFC. Always has been. Him and Conor McGregor are my 2 favorite UFC fighters. John Jones for sure. The guy's just been so dominant over his career. His only loss was against Matt Hamill, and the only reason he lost that fight against Matt Hamill is because he hit him with an illegal elbow. That was kind of a questionable kind of thing, but they stopped it, and Jones got disqualified. But Other than that, that's the only loss on John Jones' card, was that illegal elbow that he lost eventually to Matt Hamill in that fight. He got disqualified. But other than that, the guy's had an amazing career so far. He's beaten legends like Glover Teixeira, Lyoto Machida, Vitor Belfort, Shogun Rua on his first ever title shot, which was absolutely amazing. Jones has just had a storied career. He's beaten the best of the best that the sport has to offer. Daniel Cormier, another one that he's beaten. Chael Sonnen. Like, these are top-level UFC guys that John Jones has easily beaten. It's going to be great to see him back inside the octagon taking on Daniel Cormier. I know there's lots of bad blood. These two definitely won't be touching gloves when the bell rings tonight. Somebody's getting finished in this fight, I'm sure, but it's either going to be by a knockout or there's going to be a submission. But either way, it's not. I don't believe it's going to go to the judges' scorecards. This will definitely be a finish for either John Jones finishing him in dramatic fashion or DC being able to squeak out the victory over John Jones. But definitely somebody is going to get finished in that main event tonight for sure. And Alexander Gustafsson, I believe, is next in line, so it'll be either Jones versus Gustafsson 2 or Gustafsson versus Cormier 2. But yeah, the first time John Jones and Alexander Gustafsson fought, it was an absolutely incredible fight. Those two put everything on the line inside that octagon in Toronto when their first fight happened. I thought to myself that, even though I'm a huge John Jones fan, I thought myself that Alexander Gustafsson did more than enough to win that fight. Obviously, the judges didn't see it that way. Jones started to come on late in that fight, but that was an amazing fight to watch between those two warriors going at it. It was probably, I would say, one of my top 10 UFC fights of all time. And if they're able to fight again for a second time, it would be even better. It's going to draw huge pay-per-view numbers, and it's a fight that a lot of people want to see, so we'll see how tonight goes. Also, they were saying Brock Lesnar possibly coming back, so I'm definitely looking forward to that too. Alrighty guys, I'm going to pop on some Dead by Daylight, I think, or check out some Dead Alliance. If you want to, feel free to pop on and check out my stream on one of those games, feel free to do so. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a great night. If you are ordering the fight, definitely order it within the next couple hours. These things are huge and super popular, and it could potentially sell out, so definitely get in there, order it, and check it out. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be an amazing night of fights. Definitely, probably one of the best UFC events that they put together, so definitely check that one out. So, yeah. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for popping by. Southpaw, Hammer, GQ, all you guys, appreciate it. Yeah, everybody, if you want to watch the full video, you can check it out on my YouTube channel. So until next time, guys, we'll see you later.